Sure. Oh, sec.
It's amazing doing the American meets where, like, you'll do some meets.
Okay, welcome back to our coverage of the Canada Summer Games here at the Fortis Canada Games Complex. What a great day of action we have had so far. Just getting set up to kick things off here momentarily. Women's 400 meters wheelchair prelims will be coming up. Well, thank you for joining us once again. Here's the Canada Summer Games in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. We are back here on the track. And a big women's 400 meters wheelchair preliminaries coming up. Once again, I'm joined by Adam Dunphy, as always, bringing you his expertise on all these track events. Adam, a great day so far, but the women's 400 meter wheelchair prelims coming up. What can we expect from these heats?
Well, a lot of these wheelchair athletes competing in multiple events at these Canada Games. And it is quite a collection of talent that has assembled here in St. John's. And in this heat, we are going to see the bronze medalist at the Canadian Track and Field Championships earlier this summer, and that is Lauren Redwood. She is going to have laid number 2. And Redwood, a member of the Ontario contingent. And we also saw her compete yesterday in the 1,500 meter race where she picked up the silver medal.
Lauren Redwood leaving lane number 2. Great crowd on hand once again. Wind has died down a little bit here at the track. Conditions maybe a little bit better. Feels like it's the warmest it's been all day as well, Adam.
Well, I think these athletes are just going to be thankful that it's not raining today. Day 1 was tough when it came to the elements. It was windy, it was rainy. Today it has been windy. It's gone in fits and starts, but the rain has held off, so I think these athletes are certainly grateful for that.
Great point. So coming up, the first heat in lane 2, Lauren Redwood of Ontario. In lane 3, Brittany Volkman of Alberta. Lane 4, Amanda Faniza of Quebec. In lane 5, Jessica Guerrier from British Columbia. Lane 6, Maggie Slessor from Alberta. Lane 7, Ava Delaney of Saskatchewan. And in lane number 8, Corey Hicks of Newfoundland and Labrador. We're just about to kick things off. We talked about there's a little bit of a difference here in these wheelchair races compared to standard 400 meters, talking about RASA points yesterday and such. Can you take us through that once again, Adam?
So, Robbie, in this heat, you have athletes that are classified in different, classification categories. So, classification depends on your impairment. So, here is Corey Hicks. She is a T54 athlete. We have a few T54s in this heat. Also have a T33 athlete in Maggie Slessor and a T34 athlete in Amanda Faniza. So to level the playing field, it doesn't necessarily mean that the first person across the line is going to be the winner. It's going to come down to those RASA points, and they are calculated by using an average of world records over a predetermined number of years. So the closer an athlete's performance is to the world record in their category, the higher their point score is going to be. And the scale goes from 0 to 1,000 points.
So there you have it. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you up to date as official results come in. As these wheelchair races go on, lots of action coming up all evening here at the beautiful Fortis Canada Games Complex in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. You see Maggie Slessor ready to go.
Now, Robbie, because there are only 7 competitors in this 400-meter wheelchair race, and that's in total, so there's only going to be one heat here. So as long as every athlete gets over the line, they are going to advance to the final. So the RASA points aren't going to mean too much here. It's just getting over that line, and then you book yourself a spot in the final.
Okay, so almost a preview of the final.
Pretty much, and it just gives these athletes a chance to go through the rounds like you would in international competition. So it's just good experience for these 7 competitors.
Here we go, athletes. There you see Lauren Redwood, lane number 2. Volkman, Alberta, right beside her in lane 3.
Volkman already has some hardware from these Canada Games. She picked up the bronze medal in the 1,500 meters yesterday.
Some familiar names. The wheelchair athletes kicked off track action yesterday here at Fortis Canada Games Complex. Very focused and keen to get started. Great look at Saskatchewan and coaching staff. Had a chat with Ava Delaney. He was in the lane 7. It's beside Newfoundland and Labrador.
Many of these competitors faced off at the Canadian Track and Field Championships earlier this summer in Ottawa. As mentioned, Lauren Redwood was the bronze medalist at those nationals. Brittany Volkman finished 5th. Jessica Guerrier was 6th. Maggie Slessor was 4th, and Ava Delaney was 7th.
Next on the track will be women's 400
So here we hear in the background the PA announcer introducing these teams. This big crowd on hand. Looks like we're just about ready. We're in this 400-meter wheelchair prelim. Again, Ontario, Alberta, Quebec, British Columbia. Another Alberta entry in Maggie Slessor. Saskatchewan and Newfoundland and Labrador all in the starting line for this single heat in the women's 400-meter wheelchair.
In lane 7 from Team Saskatchewan, Ava Delaney. And in lane 8 from Team Newfoundland Labrador, Corey Hicks.
Big focus from all these athletes getting ready to kick this race off.
On your marks.
Well, here we go. We are underway in this women's 400 meter, and we're gonna have a false start. Back we go. We're gonna try it again.
Well, we're firmly into day 2 here, and that is the first callback we have seen, so that's pretty good all in all.
Pretty smooth on the starting line all day. Judged by the officials. Well, here we go.
Here we are at the reset.
400 meter women's wheelchair. Single heat.
On your marks. Set.
And ready.
Well, here we are, just as a reminder from yesterday's.
Well, here we go, underway. A great start from Ava Delaney. And there you see Laura Redwood putting on some speed in lane 1. Adam, you talked about the importance of getting off to a good start. Any lanes pop out to you early on? Who would be in that category?
As you mentioned, sorry, Robbie, as you mentioned, Lord Redwood, good start on the inside in lane 2, and Redwood is a T54 athlete. Jessica Gurrier in lane 5, also a T54 athlete, moving well. And then as you look to 3, you've got Brittany Volkman. So that trio, all T54 athletes, and they're all looking very strong.
Jessica Gurrier trying to catch Volkman. And great speed so far from Volkman with that turn coming up. Here they go, Redwood. Trying to put some speed on as well from Ontario. She's in the inside lane. Gonna look back, trying for the big finish. Volkman still out front for Alberta. Volkman not losing any ground. Trying to get to that finish line, and what a performance from Brittany Volkman of Alberta. Looks like Guerrier from BC coming in second, followed by Redwood of Ontario. Those are our first 3 to cross the line.
And now your T33 and 34 is in the 6th. That is Maggie.
And still some racers coming in.
Come on, Eva!
Another look at the finish line.
Nice work, Eva! Finish strong!
There's Delaney from Saskatchewan. Crosses 4th. Another look at it. Corey Hicks from Newfoundland and Labrador. Out wide in lane 8. Trying to get there as well. Corey Hicks trying to hold on, and a big rush from Quebec. Amanda Faniza at the end. A great effort. Excuse me, that was Maggie Slessor. Here comes Amanda Faniza to finish up, and that will do it for this heat of the women's 400 meter wheelchair. And what an effort from Brittany Volkman in particular. A great race from all these athletes. Adam.
Well, if you want to talk about consistency, you have to talk about Brittany Volkman, 1:18.89. She was first across the line here. Her time at Nationals was 1:18.88, so only 1/100th of a second difference there. So that should score her right around the 32 RASA points she picked up at the Canadian Track and Field Championships. But again, all these women across the line, so they are all moving on to the final later at these Canada Games.
There's a look at the times. Great job by our crew to bring you that information and a good look at the track. And what an opener Certainly a lot of heats to go in various categories. Coming up next is going to be the men's 400-meter wheelchair. We're going to step out for a moment. We'll be back in the moments leading up to that race, and we'll meet the athletes, and Adam can bring us a little insight in what to expect from that. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome everyone to the Canada Games 2025 for the track and field. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue aux Jeux du Canada 2025. Pour l'athlétisme, cet après-midi, on a le Women's Shot Para seated. We have the lancer du javelot quality femme para-face. On a aussi le saut perche chez les femmes et le lancer de poids chez les hommes. We have the men's high jump qualifications and the men's hammer final. On a aussi le marteau chez les femmes et le saut en longueur chez les femmes. We have also the javelin. On the track this evening, we'll have what we just experienced, the women's 400 meter, and next will be the para men's 400 meter. Le 400 mètres des femmes vient de terminer et nous allons bientôt avoir le 400 mètres chez les hommes para. Plus tard, nous aurons le 100 mètres chez les femmes, women's 100 meter, men's 100 meter, men and women 3,000 meters, and that one will be the steeplechase final, as well as the 4x4 relay, men and women, with, at the end, the 1500 meters final. Nous aurons aussi le 1500 mètres, le 4x400 mètres pour les femmes, le 3000 mètres, le 100 mètres des femmes et le 100 mètres des hommes. Dans quelques minutes, on le 400 mètres chez les hommes, ça va.
Good. Excellent, thank you.
He won, this he won.
I gotta turn the sound down. Call set.
Next on the track will be men's 400 meters wheelchair, le 400 mètres homme fauteuil roulant.
So here we go. Welcome back as our 400 meters men's wheelchair prelims getting ready to get started. Track once again. Let's find out our lane assignments. In lane 2, Paulo Guerrero of British Columbia. Lane 3, Jeremy Jones of Newfoundland and Labrador. Lane 4, Matthew Dykstra of Alberta. Lane 5, Clisson Jane Bay from Quebec. Lane 6, Dante Cormier of New Brunswick. Lane 7, Gavin Baggs of Newfoundland and Labrador. And in lane 8, Ty Young of Ontario. So another 400 meters. Reading the names, Adam, any athlete pop out at you perhaps could be an early favorite or a lane to watch for as this race goes on?
In lane 7, totally crushed it yesterday in the 1500 meter wheelchair finals. Gold medal winner from right here, Team Newfoundland and Labrador, Gavin Bags. And in lane 8, qualified for the 100 meter finals from Team Ontario, Ty Young. He is 18:54.
Well, Robbie, keep your eye on the middle of the track. Dante Corbier from New Brunswick. He was the bronze medalist at the Canadian Track and Field Championships. Clocked 58.88 there for a RASA score of 395. He's also got some hardware from these Canada Games. It came yesterday when he picked up the silver in the 1500 meters.
So here we go, underway. And a good start from Ty Young on the outside in lane 8 from Ontario. But Dante Cormier trying to gain ground in lane 6. He was impressive yesterday. Just beside him, Lisson Jane Bay from Quebec trying to catch the pack. And there's your 1, 2, 3. As it looks like Newfoundland and Labrador's Jeremy Jones sitting in third. As they continue around the turn, he sees Paulo Guerrero currently in second, trying to chase the leader. Coming in, Dante Cormier trying to pick up speed in the turn. He's doing a good job of it. Cormier down the final stretch, and here's a blast of speed from Paulo Guerrero trying to catch the leader, Cormier. Jones currently in third. Looks like Cormier will cross the line first as they come through. Guerrero second, Jones third, Dykstra fourth. Across the line.
Gavin Bags is all done. And on the inside, Paulo Guerrero.
I believe it was Quebec and Jane Bay crossing next. And what a race, good speed. By all, we're gonna get the official results. My apologies. I believe it was Ty Young from Ontario crossing second. Tough to see sometimes. There's Jeremy Jones doing a great job getting a big cheer by the crowd. Trying to get there, getting a huge round of applause from this excellent crowd here in Newfoundland, St. John's, I should say, Newfoundland and Labrador. Great effort from Jones. And he will cross, so this one is officially in the books. The apologies on the confusion. Dante Cormier first to cross. Ty Young from Ontario second to cross. Gavin Bags from Newfoundland and Labrador, he was third to cross, so a big finish in this one, Adam.
Cormier comes across in 1:01:51. And just like it was in the women's race, every athlete has crossed the line here. So they are all advancing to the final, as there are just 7 competitors in this race. And Cormier, the Team New Brunswick athlete, well, really not touched in this opening, or I guess this only heat here, as he was far and away in control. And let's wait and see how many RASA points that is going to score him. And it's going to get him 248 points. So a nice score there for Cormier. Ty Young, with his 1:03:25, is going to score 46 points. Gavin Bags picked up the gold yesterday in the 1500 meters. He was 6th at the Canadian Track and Field Championships in this event. He is going to pick up 34 RASA points with his 1:04:02 clocking. But again, the important thing is all 7 athletes get across that finish line. They will race again in the final at these championships.
Well, there you have it, the men's and women's 400-meter wheelchair prelims in the books. Coming up In a few moments' time, we're going to have the women's 400-meter ambulatory preliminaries. That's coming up. Adam and I will step out for a moment. We'll be back moments before that race to introduce the competitors. Stay tuned.
Atlantic Lottery is proud to sponsor important community initiatives like this year's Canada Games.
Calling St. John's unique is like calling a humpback a goldfish. It's wildly different here.
Hello.
Hi, remember me? We bought your old house.
Yes.
We brought some mail.
Oh.
Hey.
The diaper subscription. I forgot to cancel it.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet the memories are coming back now. The BMO app helps you keep an eye on where your money's going.
Like how?
Well, for one, it would have told you this subscription price had gone up multiple times.
It's a lot of diapers.
Well, extra's good. So where's the baby?
Oh, he's right here. This is the baby.
And that ain't no baby.
BMO. I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. No, never, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time. I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. No, never, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time. I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. No, never, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Canada Summer Games from beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Another heat coming up. This time it's the women's 400-meter ambulatory. One competitor in this heat, Vesta Orchard from Manitoba. Adam, what can you tell us about Vesta? I can tell you she's got some big fans here. What else can you tell us about this athlete from Manitoba?
So Vesta Orchard is a T20 athlete, and that is designation for athletes with an intellectual impairment. Saw her compete at the last Canada Games back in 2022. And just like we saw yesterday in the para-ambulatory 100 meters, she is going to be running solo here. And this is going to be a prelim, so like we saw in those 400-meter wheelchair races, the goal here, get over the line, you're going through to the final. And again, it just is a great opportunity for Orchard to get some championship racing experience, go through a round, get to a final, and just get used to how things work in those championship events.
And we saw this yesterday in the ambulatory 100-meter. Athlete from Nova Scotia running solo as well. And you mentioned it, but what a great point, getting this experience on the big stage in this national competition. Huge experience for Vesta Orchard. And she is off, so this 400-meter. Single lap of this entire track. This 400-meter, Adam, talk us through perhaps what is going through her mind right now in terms of strategy and focus in this 400-meter event.
Well, it's difficult doing this solo because you don't really have anyone to work off of, and sometimes it's just getting that adrenaline, that momentum from racing somebody. But here, you're doing a time trial, so you just got to lock in, trust your training, and hope that it brings you through at a time that you're going to be happy with. Because again, get over the line, get to the final, but you're obviously, if you're Vesta Orchard, going to want to get something that you're going to be happy with time-wise going into that final.
Vesta, certainly the early stages of her career, the great experience, as you mentioned, getting on this track like this on the broadcast in front of the big crowd. Experience that will come in handy as she pursues her career in track, as she looks to finish strong, getting a big round of applause from the crowd cheering her on. Let's find out what her time will be. You see it, 121.88 for Vesta Orchard. A good run.
You made it not by yourself.
And Orchard is also going to be in action in the shot put competition at these Canada Games, and that's coming up in just under an hour's time, so a busy day here for the Manitoba athlete.
You see a look of pride and certainly satisfaction. Let's take another look at this finish.
Well, Orchard doing what she needs to do, and she can save a little energy here because she's going to need it for that shot put competition coming up in, about 55 minutes time.
Track and field, such a I don't want to say grueling sport, but a physically challenging sport in the sense that you're running, you see a lot on the track, but then you see them in the middle, as you just mentioned. She has to save energy for shot put. These are certainly athletes who need to be so well-rounded in every way. Very impressive to see just the skill and strength that they bring in to these games. Adam, you've trained most of your life in this sport, and you know what it's like. Talk us through perhaps what a training week would look like for some of these top athletes trying to reach that Olympic level of competition.
Oh, if you're a top level athlete, you're going to be out there most days of the week, and a lot of speed work, of course. When you move up in the distances, a lot of times it's just putting in mileage, and when you focus more on the sprints, a lot of it's power work. Your starts, of course, they are so key in the sprints. I have to say, one of my favorite things to see at these championships, haven't seen it yet, but we might see it as we move along at these Canada Games, is you'll have athletes competing in a field event, and they'll have to leave that event to get to the track because either their prelim or their final on the track is going on. So they'll leave, they'll go and run whatever they have to do on the track, and then they'll scamper back to their field event. So luckily for Vesta Orchard, the timing worked out a little more in her favor, that she didn't have to go from the shot put to the 400 meters. However, she isn't going to get much of a break, as that's going to come up yet at about 55 minutes time.
Yeah, I think you just nailed the point I was trying to make. Is so impressive to just watch all these athletes, especially at this level here at the Canada Summer Games, as we get prepared for the next heat. This will be the men's 400 meter ambulatory prelims once again.
Little ad-lib, if I may, as I've watched for 40 years, a company that is on the board, Fortis Inc.
Get a look at the starting line here.
Very few companies in Canada that stands as tall as this company. It started as one company, very local, Newfoundland and Labrador. A certain Mr.
It's 400 meter.
Was one of the founders.
Ambulatory coming up.
In 1987. His name is Sam.
Great afternoon already of competition. There you see the athletes making their way to the track.
And he passed it on to one of his young
Be a look of focus as they enter.
President, his name was Stanley Marshall. under his leadership, this company and those who followed him, this company is today probably the premier distributor of electricity and natural gas all over North America. It employs over 10,000 employees, and his office has been and remains right here in St. John's, Newfoundland, a pride of Newfoundland, Labrador. Thank you for your support.
So here we go as the athletes get prepared for the men's 400-meter ambulatory. Coming up, warm up, such a big part of their routine for these athletes. Great crowd on hand, as you can see in the background, has been this entire week. These track athletes here at the Fortis Canada Games Complex. Wonderful venue to host these track and field events. Part of athletics here at the Canada Summer Games.
And most of the athletes in this 400-meter ambulatory prelim we saw in action yesterday in the ambulatory 100-meter prelims.
What an exciting event that was yesterday as well. Kicking things off early in the day yesterday. A little bit drier for them today. Rain was certainly an issue on the track. Not the case today.
Well, that's going to be an exciting final, and that final scheduled to go tomorrow at 1:50, or excuse me, at 2:45.
Week for track and field athletics, such a big part of these games. Talking to the fans around every venue, kind of asking around, what are you excited for? We hear a lot of track and field. That's the answer. So we appreciate the support from all the fans and for those who have tuned in from coast to coast. Here to take in these Canada Summer Games. Week 2, midway through. Excellent, excuse me, an excellent event thus far. In St. John's. These athletes prepare to get started. .400 meters, certainly not an easy distance.
It is a very challenging event. You look and you think, oh, it's just one lap around the track, but you are going all out for that one lap, and there will only be one heat in these prelims. So again, what that means is if you finish, you're going through to the final.
Once again, an opportunity to get that big stage experience for all these athletes. A preview for the finals coming up. We'll meet the competitors in the lane assignments. Starting off in lane 3, it's going to be Jason Hicks of Nova Scotia. In lane 4, Etienne Réau of Quebec. In lane 5, Brendan Cote-Williamson. In lane 6, Shaden Reardon of Newfoundland and Labrador. And in lane 7 on the outside, Hudson Booth of Ontario. So here we go. Heading in the blocks to get set up. This 400-meter ambulatory prelim. Get off to a good start for all these athletes. So here we go, underway. 400-meter men's ambulatory, and a good start from Hudson Booth. But look at the speed from Brendan Cote-Williamson, getting off to a big lead. You talked about great starts, Adam. He certainly got off to one now, and here's Réau trying to catch him from Quebec, and still in second place is Hudson Booth. Looks like that's going to be taken over by Réau of Quebec. Here on the turn, trying to hold on is Cote-Williamson. He's got a big lead, but on the inside is Etienne Réau, a chance to make up some ground, trying to get ahead here on the home stretch, but Cote-Williamson showing great speed early on and doesn't look to be slowing down, but a good effort from Quebec. Trying to catch the leader is Réau, but I think it's going to be Cote-Williamson from Saskatchewan across the line first. Just behind him, Etienne Réau. Here you see Ontario's Hudson Booth trying to hold on for third. He will to cross the line. Nova Scotia coming next with Jason Hicks. And almost finished up here, Newfoundland and Labrador will come through. So a big run from all these athletes.
Brendan Cote-Williamson comes across the line first, 52-20. Cote-Williamson was the silver medalist in this event at the Canadian Track and Field Championships. So 52-20 for Williamson. Etienne Réau, 54-44. The tabulations now being made to see what those RASA point scores will be. But again, all these men across the line off to the final because of that.
You see a great run from Quebec. Etienne Réau, his time just got posted, a little bit delay in receiving that information. So a great run by all these athletes. At least something to be proud of. Coming up next, we are going to have the 100-meter women's hurdles prelims. That's going to start at 6 o'clock our time. Adam, we're going to step off for a moment. We'll join you moments before that begins. So stay tuned. Women's 100-meter hurdles coming up. The preliminaries at 6 o'clock local time from the Canada Summer Games. We'll be back.
So we finished we'll have two flight sections. Eux retenez high jump au saut en hauteur des lames. So you have two flights. And in the first flight, which will get shortly underway, we have the following athletes jumping. Nous avons les athlètes suivants qui seront au saut. From the Northwest Territories, Sebastian Kikos. From Team Yukon, both 18 years old, Jeffrey Rumba. From Team Newfoundland Labrador, William Walburn. Also from Team Labrador, Newfoundland Labrador, Christopher Penny. The popular Christopher Penny. From Team Yukon, Dominique Lefebvre. From Team Saskatchewan, Logan Smith. De l'équipe Québec, Liam Simard. from Team Northwest Territories, Nolan Newstone. Those are your 8 athletes to compete in this first flight. Les 8 athlètes qui sauteront à cette première vague.
Oh, just like that. Yeah, oh yeah. But there was others up there, like, what's his name? What was the Canadian record in the 5K was up there? He runs at 12:47 for a 5K. He was up there, but everyone was in the 5K. The first thing, the third boys all ran 13:05,
This is high speed for me.
I tell you, it was loose.
Right under now, getting down there.
Your orange jacket on. What? I thought you were running, so I thought you were losing.
That's what we're seeing in these jackets.
She's down there by the water pit. Is she? That's swam, yeah.
Test, test.
Next up, let's go. Attempting 4.
What? Yeah, the 4x4s are like too, yeah, they're big. One is the Canadian champion and the other one he's the silver medalist. First and second Canadian championships are in your
Somebody else has had to make the fun.
Next to the 400s, that's going to be 47 seconds.
Flying. Alright, bud.
I'll get the day off tomorrow here. Were you down at the game today? We played? The soccer game today, women's?
He got me hid at his house.
So Emmanuel today will have another attempt here at 450. He's cleared 440. Also cleared 440 was Edouard Lavoie du Québec. Also, and those are believe these are the last two still jumping. For Edouard Banana-Beaulieu, passing at 450, he has jumped up to 5 meters, so there's still a lot of jumping potentially before our eyes here as the bar goes up in the sky and for these athletes. Most of the athletes who cleared 430 included Max Mazeral, Winston Clark, Josh Tan. Before that would have been 410 was Sam Hutton. And Lewin Cox at 4 meters. Meanwhile, at the high jump, we're just getting underway. Nolan Gusson of the Northwest Territories and clears 154. Next technique. Now attention coaches, you have until 6 o'clock to get your team relays in at the DIC, that's the cutoff. Attention aux entraîneurs, vous avez jusqu'à 6 heures pour faire une déclaration ou amener vos listes pour les relais, et ça c'est au TIC. De l'autre côté aussi, les entraîneurs de l'équipe New-Brunswick and East-Esquire. New-Brunswick PEI coaches, please visit with Serge Thibault over at the finish line for clarification on your team coaches from Team New Brunswick and PEI. Please with Serge Thibault over at the photo finish. Dominique Lefebvre up next from Team Newfoundland. Alors, Edouard Louis-Beaulieu, alors à 460, pardon, 460 will be the bar, and as well he will rejoin the competition. He will be the last jumper in the decathlon at the pole vault. Alors, sur la perche, la barre de mise à 4,60. Ça, c'est ce que Saturday night. jumping next at 470. He has a seat mark of 5 meters, so we can still be here for a while. Isn't it great? It's beautiful night, sunshine, perfect weather, and welcome CBC to their national news here. And while we see Dominique Lefebvre from Yukon on his high jump attempt. Get him on 470.
Well, thanks for sticking around here in our continuing coverage of the Canada Summer Games from beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm Robbie Doherty, as always, alongside Adam Dunphy to bring you the comprehensive coverage here from the track at these games in St. John's at the beautiful Fortis Canada Games Complex. A unique event coming up, Adam, the women's 100-meter hurdles. Certainly an exciting event for spectators. Talk us through what we should expect.
So we're going to have two heats in this women's 100-meter hurdles, and the top three finishers from each heat, and then the next best two times through the two heats will move on to the A final. The rest of the competitors will go through to the B final.
A lot on the line in these two heats. Here's a look at the lane assignments. Lane 2, Tanya Danoa from British Columbia. Lane 3, Alaya Logan of Ontario. Lane 4, Gabby Patterson of Alberta. Lane 5, Letitia Coravo-Tozzi from Quebec. Lane 6, Marin Smith of Nova Scotia. And in lane 7, Selena Piowski of Saskatchewan. So I couldn't decide between Saskatchewan or Selena there, Adam. My apologies. But here we go. Cold night in St. John's. See the athletes trying to stay warm as long as they can. But this should be an interesting race. So there are any competitors on the start list that jump out at you and perhaps should be a big lane to watch for?
In the red, in lane 2, it's Ontario's Alaya Logan. She was the bronze medalist at the Canadian Championships in Ottawa earlier this summer. She's run 13:12 this year, and that has her ranked 4th in the country.
Certainly an impressive statistic for this young lady from Ontario. You see, trying to stay warm as long as they can. Looks like we're getting ready to get started. 100 meters. Certainly fun to watch for the crowd, and a big crowd on hand tonight, but these are fast, and certainly a lot of athleticism required in these hurdle races.
And Canada has a great history with the 100-meter hurdles. Go back to the early 2000s, Bernina Felician. And then a little later in that decade, Priscilla Lope-Schleep, both dominant at the national level and then also big players at the international level.
We look across the line. All these athletes, like they are certainly focused, ready to go in this heat number 1, as you mentioned. One more heat coming up after this in the women's 100-meter hurdle. Once again, lanes 2 to 7, British Columbia, Ontario, Alberta, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and Saskatchewan. Heat number 1 of 2 in the women's 100-meter hurdles. Here we go.
Set.
And we are underway, and a good start from Saskatchewan and Selena Kielski, but there you see Ontario's Aliyah Logan. You mentioned her in our pre-race chat. She's looking to go the distance, trying to hold on to second. Gabby Patterson right behind her from Alberta, going to be a close finish, but it looked like Kielski from Saskatchewan able to get there on time to take second. But a great effort from Patterson as well in Alberta as the official results come in.
Well, no one was going to get anywhere close to Logan in that heat. She's happy with it, and she should be. 13:50. She comes through in Kielski 14:16, and then Gabby Patterson 14:21. So those are going to be the 3 auto qualifiers from this heat. And, well, this result was never in question for Logan. Age record goes back to 2001. That was set by Angela White from Alberta, 13:16, and wasn't a legal wind there. So the winds will come into play as we move along. But again, Logan has run 13:12 this season. So if the conditions are right, challenges for that game's record in the final.
What a race that has been. And weather is looking better in the forecast as the week goes on. Going to warm up. Certainly, well, I didn't see any rain in the forecast. We all know that can change pretty quick. But certainly as it's shaping up, projected to be better conditions as we get ready for our next heat. Heat number 2 of 2 here in the women's 100-meter hurdles.
Yeah, there's one jumper, just one jumper.
How important, Adam, is warm-ups in these events, and talk about what you're really trying to do? Is it more physical? Is it more of a mental focus thing? Obviously, you can't just go out there cold, but talk us through that process and what these athletes are trying to accomplish.
Well, when it comes to the hurdles, a lot of this preparation is going to be getting the timing down. You want to make sure you're taking however many strides you normally take between the hurdles, getting off on the right foot. So, especially in the hurdles, what you're preparing for is the timing. This is an event that requires immaculate timing to execute it well.
He is.
And also the best 2 times.
Well, here we go. We get lined up for this second heat. Much going in to this event for these athletes. Good to get to that final. Saw how fast these races are in heat number 1.
For the 100-meter hurdles women, pour le 100 mètres et les femmes. Heat 2, couloir numéro 2, lane 2.
Looks like we're getting close to the starting point.
Couloir numéro 3, lane 3, Skimoria Edwards, Alberta. Couloir numéro 4, lane 4, Mayoli Saint-Germain, Québec. Couloir numéro 5, lane 5.
Oh, as they approach the line, will get their lane assignments. In lane 2, representing Nova Scotia, Queen Clayton. In lane 3, from Alberta, Kamoya Edwards. Lane 4 from Quebec, Mayoli Saint Germain. Lane 5 from Manitoba, Jordan Davis. Lane 6, Timmy Adelugba. Lane 7, Delaney Self. And in lane 8 from Ontario, Brooklyn Taylor. Adam, looking through the list, is there any lane we should be watching for a potential favorite?
Saint Germain in lane 4. She was 5th at the Canadian Track and Field Championships. Clocked 13:63 there. She has run 13:53, and that is the quickest seed time in the field. On the outside, Brooklyn Taylor there in the red of Ontario. She was the Canadian U20 champion earlier this summer. She has the second best seat time in this field and that seat time is 13:78.
Go on the line. Heat number 2 in these women's 100-meter hurdles. And off we go. Ontario off to a great start, and Brooklyn Taylor. But there you see, trying to turn on the speed is Mayoli Saint Germain. But great pressure from Kamoya Edwards next door. Saint Germain gonna pull ahead in a race for second, but it looks like it was Edwards from Alberta taking the number 2 spot, and Brooklyn Taylor of Ontario coming through third. But certainly what a close finish as it was in our opening heat. A great run.
So St. Germain's going to come through in 13:87, Edwards 13:95, and Taylor 14:02. So those are the big Q qualifiers out of this second heat. And unfortunately for Queen Clayton, made contact with that first hurdle, and that really slowed her down. She did recover, she got over the line, but certainly not the race that the Nova Scotia athlete was looking for.
Mentioned it, so important to get that rhythm and know where you're at with your steps in these hurdles events. Can cost you, but nonetheless, that one in the book, certainly an exciting run. Standing up.
Time.
No, go ahead, Adam.
Sorry, Robbie. And both time qualifiers for the A final are going to come out of the second heat. So Adelugba from Saskatchewan, her 14:08 is going to move her on. And Jordan Davis's 14:27 also moving her on to that A final.
That wraps up our heats in the women's 100-meter hurdles. Coming up next is the men's 110-meter hurdles, open prelims. Be 2 heats in that event. Step out for a moment as warm-up takes place and be back before the race to cue it up. We'll see you then.
Édouard Lavoie-Beaulieu. Commencer ses préparatifs. La première tentative, 5 mètres, 5 meters. If you're not sure where the bar is, just look up at the sky, and that's where it is. Saskatchewan. Comfortably clears 182. Well done. This is over at the high jump. attempt for 2022 Canada Games.
First
gold
one.
medalist,
Straight through all of them.
looking to double this year.
That's about the only way I do it. No, this always.
And will certainly gain some valuable points at this particular event.
They seem so close together. How do you enjoy it?
I think
Look at it first and 10 years and 7.
I think I'm making 1 meter. No, more than 1 meter. So it's 100 meters, 110 meters. So I'd say maybe 10 feet jab, maybe 1 meter between. 1 meter is 3 meters.
Rely on him. And I have to listen to him for the rest of the night.
I'll have it all riled up.
What?
I'll have it all riled up.
That was just so bad. Like I got to like 6 and I was and then all of a sudden.
Prochain sauteur, the next jumper is from Newfoundland and Labrador, aiming to clear 186, and that is William Walborn over at the high jump. Au sauteur, William Walborn de Terre-Neuve, Labrador.
Just want to tell you that there is no track.
I'm just more concerned about the medals, but I have enough time. I don't have time to wait. Medals are not until 9:30.
Yep. At the end.
At the end, 9:30, so people got 2.5 hours to get it done. I had 2 athletes completely done yesterday before an hour.
Logan jumped 6'7".
Right? Provide the color. According to those videos that went around, a small weekend. That video that was going around. Forward. Come on off. And that Olympic trial.
From here on out. Oh, he'll be talking from here on out. Yeah. Very cool.
So I don't have to worry about that.
Their competition is finished tonight.
Which is great. Yeah, well, they've been at it for 2 days.
Well, I know that there's something that maybe some athlete will run the steeple and they will run the 4x4 after.
God damn it, I never thought.
No, yeah. Just that's it. That's a possibility.
Okay.
That's good. He came back. I don't know what he did or whatever. He cut something or I heard the system sound coming from there, from this side. The problem was on this side. But talk to Sean, maybe get unplug, plug the way. No, but you ain't came back. I don't know.
William Walmore.
That speaker.
Looking at here,
I know it's the speaker or the cable or whatever. I don't know.
That's the decathlon third attempt. 5 meters. Coach, PI coach, please. Please report before the finish. PI coach, last call for your relay team. Please report to Serge Thibodeau for the finish. PI coach, last call.
Well, thanks for sticking around. Coming up now, the men's 110-meter hurdles. Should be an exciting race. Here you take a look at the lane assignments, I should say, in lane 2 from Ontario, Ryder King. In lane 3 from PEI, Jacob Frank. In lane 4 from Manitoba, Jordan Beinert. In lane 5 from Nova Scotia, Oliver Bonington. In lane 6 from Saskatchewan, Liam Oster. Lane 7 from Alberta, Keon Rude. And in lane 8 from Quebec, Lambert Fournier. So there's the field early on, Adam. What can we expect? And do you think there could be an obvious, or not obvious, but a potential favorite here in this field?
Well, you got to look to the inside of the track here, and Ryder King from Ontario, he was 4th in this event at the Canadian Track and Field Championships. Clocked 14:25 there. He has run 13:95 this year, and that makes him the 6th ranked 110-meter hurdler in the country in 2025. He also had the top time in the 400-meter hurdle prelims yesterday.
Just noticing the women's run the 100-meter hurdles, the men's now 110. What's the difference in that, and what kind of difference would it make for the athletes trying to run the race?
Well, it's just a matter of getting your timing squared again. They run the 110-meter hurdles all the way up from the junior levels as well, so it's nothing that comes anew for them at the senior level. So just like in the women's race, it's all about the execution and the timing, getting the proper amount of strides in between the hurdles, getting off on the right foot. And the Again, the technical aspects of the hurdles are so key.
Here we go. Ready to hit the starting line. Again, lanes 2 to 7. Ontario, PEI, Manitoba, Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Quebec. Approach the line. In this heat, a reminder, one more heat coming up in the men's 110 meters hurdles right after this. Gonna get that top 3. Focus on all these athletes, knowing what's at stake. Here we go on the starting line. Number 1, men's 110 meter hurdles. And we are underway. What a start from Ryder King. You talked about that big start, and he's off and touching a hurdle there, trying to get over them is Saskatchewan, trying to catch up on Leona Malmster, but in lane 8 is Lambert Fournier going to be a dash for the finish. And it was Ontario first across, Quebec second. Take us through it, Adam.
Well, Ryder King got off to that great start, and he comes through in 14:30 to win this opening heat. Although he did make contact with a lot of those hurdles, and Fournier had a very good charge towards the end. He gets through in 14:41. Keanu Rude will pick up the 3rd auto qualifier spot for this opening heat. He comes through in 14:87.
A good race for all these athletes. And Ryder King, you talked about him in the pre-race. Let's take another look at it.
Well, just gets out of the blocks in a hurry. And then this penultimate hurdle, he ended up knocking down. He brushed, well, more than brushed that final hurdle as well. Fournier looked a little cleaner. Well, made pretty good contact. Okay, I take that back. Fournier also certainly not shy about making contact with those hurdles. But in the end, both King and Fournier get through to the A final. Keanu Rude will be joining them. Liam Oster and Jordan Beinert now on standby to see if 14:92 and 15:39 will advance them to the A final.
Talk about the pressure of the race. Track, but sometimes the pressure, I'm learning, Adam, is waiting for the next heat to finish. Trying to see the times coming in if you're not in that top 3.
Well, absolutely. We've seen that more yesterday with the athletes huddled around and waiting for the times to come in on the Jumbotron at the end of the track, because they're just like us. They want to see who's getting through. In fact, they probably are a little more antsy to see who's getting through than we are.
Great speed in these hurdle. It's 110 meters. See that all-important warm-up from these athletes. Here's a look at the competitors coming up in this one, leaving from lane 2 from Quebec, Emile Lapointe. Lane 3, Nova Scotia, Isaac Rees. Lane 4 from Saskatchewan, Thiago Demande. Lane 5, Ryan Wright from Alberta. Lane 6, Ontario, Emery Lindo. And in lane 7 for Manitoba, Adam Andres. You see them start to approach the starting line for this second and final heat here in this men's 110-meter hurdles. Any thoughts on looking at the field and who could be a potential favorite or a lane to watch for in heat number 2?
Well, the silver medalist at this year's Canadian Track and Field Championships is in the field here, and that is Manitoba's Adam Andres, who will be in lane 7. He ran 14:05 to pick up that silver medal, and that time has him as the 7th-ranked Canadian this year. Also in the mix will be likely Emile Lapointe. He was 6th in that final at the Canadian Track and Field Championships, where he clocked 14:49. Tamari Lindo, 14:07 seed time for him. So he'll also be a favorite to grab one of those big cues in this second heat.
So the athletes getting their warm clothes off. That means we're always very close. The second heat beginning. Certainly an exciting event here in track are these hurdle races. Oh, here we go, getting lined up once again. Lanes 2 to 7, Quebec, Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Ontario, and Manitoba on the line. It's heat number 2 of the men's 110-meter hurdles. And we are underway, and a good start from Saskatchewan as Thiago Demonde gets over clean. Good run so far, but look at Emile Lapointe. He said he'd be in the mix, and he sure is. Trying to pick up speed is Tamiri Lindo, but there's Adam Andres. Looks like he's going to cross, and he is excited, and rightfully so. And a close finish at the end. A great race, Adam.
So the real battle is going to be for that third and final auto qualifier spot. It came down to Wright and Lapointe, and the edge is going to Ryan Wright. So it'll be Andres, Lindo, and Wright grabbing the big cues from this second heat. Lapointe through in 14:73, and that is going to be quick enough to get him through to the A final on time. And the other time qualifier for the A final will be Liam Oster with his 14:92 from the opening heat.
A great start, or excuse me, a great battle start to finish. And another look at it.
Yes, find Janine.
Well, as you said, Demonde got off to a really strong start in the middle of the track, but then to his outside, the trio there turned things on about midway through that race. And then it breaks down. Andres first, Lindo second, and Ryan Wright in third. So 7, 6, 5 go 1, 2, 3 in this second heat.
You're right. Great battle for second place. That one so fast in that heat. Watching these athletes, certainly incredible. And if you enjoyed that, we have more action coming up momentarily, as we are going to have the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. That's coming up at about 7 o'clock local time scheduled. So Adam and I will step away. We'll join you moments before that race to bring you the action. That's certainly going to be exciting. It's athletics on the track tonight at the Canada Summer Games here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. We'll be back.
And on the field, we have currently the women's shot put seating wheelchair. Nous avons couramment le shot put en fauteuil roulant chez les femmes.
So I hope you appreciate all spectators away from Newfoundland and Labrador. You're actually getting the Newfoundland and Labrador snowbirds coming through right here with the nightly flight of the seagulls.
We currently have Claire Norrick from Saskatchewan doing hot-foot seating wheelchair.
Yeah, when we did it before, I couldn't remember if it was 3,000 or
microphone.
Yes, I know.
Why don't we go this way?
So you guys can learn from Sherry how she does it in terms of telling them. Okay, way over there, you'll see 3000 SC art start. It's really near the 200 start. Okay. They always finish here. Everybody finishes here. But 3000 is well, because it's 3,000 meters, so that's just how the distance, but it's slightly different. It's because the steeple is in the middle, so they don't have to go for it. So if there's a regular 3,000
No, because what I do is call the line, and it's like an answer back. They'll call right back.
Steeple start line because they don't do full 400 meters because the steeple's on the inside, so they're cutting it.
I think it'll be good because I'm not going anywhere. I'm here now until this is fixed.
So they do the water jump. There's a one that has steeplechase. Steeplechase has our steeples. Those are the steeples, and then one water jump. The water jump is right, you'll see it right past where their toe was. They don't do it the first lap and then every other lap. It's a good place. Oh, the water jump always. Water jump always. It's 7.5 plus laps. Yeah. So they do it 6 times. Water jump's supposed to be. Well, you'll see it just past the pole vault. It's right on, like, you know, the curve is like this. It's in the middle of the curve. Just past those orange jackets. Well, they don't get wet. Hopefully they won't forget. Their feet get wet. They jump off the seat. So I might go through. They put their feet on the seat and jump and cast it and run through it. They basically run through the water.
Figure this out on my own.
It's fun. I love it. So, for you, you do on the inside of it.
Okay, fabulous.
And there will be umpires there. Sweet.
Which is fine, we can turn it up. The fact is working is a good thing. So, we're going to turn it up, but give us a minute.
Test, 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 test. Yes, thank you. Leave it there. Test, test. We have sound back. Just want to bring your attention back. The decathletes over at javelin throw, you can see the results are shown up on the billboard, and Edouard Lavoie-Beaulieu has moved back and after his formidable pole vaulting, down. Jim.
That's broken now. Yeah. We're going to turn it up. It's working. I just turned it up. It's working. It is working.
So here's, you guys made a plan with Lynn? Okay.
Well, thanks for sticking with us, everybody. We are back with our continuing coverage here from Athletics Live at the Canada Summer Games in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Tonight, we are coming from the Fortis Canada Games Complex. It's been a wonderful host for these track events all week, and as always, I'm joined once again by Adam Dunphy, a man who certainly has a lot of experience in this world of track. And Adam, welcome back, and for the first time in our coverage, we are going to see medals on the line here in this 3,000-meter women's steeplechase. Take us through what this race involves and what we can expect.
So before we went to break, we had the sprint hurdles, the women's 100-meter hurdles and the men's 110-meter hurdles. For lack of a better example, think of the steeplechase as distance hurdles. So these athletes are going to do 7.5 laps around the track, and they are going to hurdle over the barriers you will see on the track. So there's 28 fixed barrier, or there will be fixed barriers on the track, and they will jump over those ones 28 times. There is also a water jump, which has a pit after it full of water, and they will jump over that 7 times.
That is certainly an impressive feat of athleticism to compete in this one. But as we mentioned, medals are on the line. So let's meet the athletes. Wearing hip number 1 from Newfoundland and Labrador, Clara Yetman. Hip number 2 from PEI, Katie Richard. Hip number 3 from New Brunswick, Emily Doucette. Hip number 4 from British Columbia, Elise Fleming. Wearing hip number 5 from Manitoba, Alexis Beaupré. Wearing hip number 6 from New Brunswick, Georgia Bernhard. Wearing hip number 7 from Saskatchewan, Eve Ouellette. Wearing hip number 8 from PEI, Grace Richard. Wearing hip number 9 from Nova Scotia, Frances McLeod. Wearing hip number 10 from Saskatchewan, Erin Kielo. Wearing hip number 11 from Quebec, Meredith Boyer. Wearing hip number 12 from Ontario, Eliza Jane Boston. Wearing hip number 13 from Newfoundland and Labrador, Allison Duffett. And hip number 14 from Quebec, Sophie Courville. You mentioned it, 3,000 meters. And you can see the anticipation in getting started. Really exciting.
Twice they've had to be brought out of their starting position, but the green card is shown to the field, so little early movement on the line. They will try again and hope third time is the charm here.
So buckle up, track fans. Here we go. Medals on the line for the first time in our coverage, and we are underway here in this 3,000-meter women's steeplechase. And right to the front early on goes Quebec. Any names pop out for you looking through this field early on, Adam?
Well, the leader right now, Meredith Boyer from Quebec, is certainly one to watch. She's run 10:22.26 here in 2025, and that has her ranked 6th in the country. Her Quebec teammate, Sophie Courville, will also be one to keep an eye on. She was the silver medalist at the Canadian Championships. She has run 10:18.43 this year, and that has her 5th ranked in the country.
Elise Fleming right behind her in 2nd place of British Columbia. In 4th is Eve Ouellette from Saskatchewan. Trying to stay with the pack from PEI, Grace Richard. A good start for her. Both Quebec athletes as well, Boyer and Courville, in the top 4 at the moment. Hitting it 1st and 3rd. There's a good look. There's Courville. As Bernard from New Brunswick tries to move forward.
So tempting.
First lap in the books, Adam. Anything surprising so far?
Well, as they come up to the first water jump, let's see how everyone's form is. And no issues so far for any of the competitors. It certainly helps having the height of a Meredith Boyer in those situations. Can get a good push off of the barrier and try and avoid getting too wet. But regardless, you're going to have wet socks at least at the end of this race.
Certainly. Sophie Courville from Quebec, your current leader. Fleming right behind her from BC, and then Meredith Boyer sitting in 3rd. You can tell a lot of strategy going into these races, knowing when to try to make your move. As Prince Edward Island sitting behind, but a good job by Kate Richard of Prince Edward Island as well. Oh, and we see a fall, an unfortunate one, as it looked like Grace Richard. No, excuse me, I believe it was Saskatchewan's Eve Ouellette. Back up, and she's continuing on here, so a good sign as she looks to make a move over that next hurdle.
Elise Fleming in the mix there. She's tucked into second right now. The Team BC athlete, 7th ranked in Canada this year with a time of 10:25.61.
A demanding race indeed is this steeplechase as you see them continue on. What a job by Corville, showing great speed and great endurance, but not showing any panic. Lots of poise and just continuing on in the lead. She's led for most of the way.
She's been fairly consistent so far on the first full lap of this event. We saw her come through in 82 seconds, 83 seconds for that last lap. It looks like now herself and Fleming have built up an ever so slight lead on the rest of the field.
There you see the Richards from Prince Edward Island trying to stay with the pack, doing a great job. To move forward. There's a great view of the field as Corville still leading. McLeod from Nova Scotia staying in the pack as well, doing a great job early on in this race. Back in water jump. Talk us through, Adam, the different strategies in this water jump. You see different athletes perhaps try to land in a different spot within the water, or all about getting out as quick as you can. Just talk us through that a little bit.
Well, absolutely. So you want to try and get into the shallowest part of that pit as you can. So you're going to use, or try to use, the barrier and push off to sort of extend yourself a little more over that jump. And we see the strategy a little different when it comes to the other barriers. A lot of these athletes still hurdling those, so they've still got some energy left in the tank. Although you do see now some athletes who are maybe starting to feel a little bit wary using those barriers as a push-off opportunity.
But Corville still in the lead. Great start for this young athlete from Quebec, Fleming. She's also been in second place pretty much from the get-go. Your top three hasn't really moved yet. And Corville seems to be extending her lead a little bit.
Well, and this is the top three you'd expect to see, as this trio all sub 10:30 seed times. And then you have to look to Georgia Bernhardt from the New Brunswick team, 10:52.50. That is the next fastest seed time in this field.
Adam, of course, as well, we've mentioned so many times this week weather could be a factor. Certainly a cold night in St. John's. How does that affect the water jumps and the athletes having to do that on a night that's, say, 11 degrees outside compared to, say, 21?
Probably won't notice a big difference for these athletes. Yes, it's a little colder, but it's really not enough to make a huge impact.
Here you see the Richards from PEI. Great job staying in the race. What a job by Corville.
So Corville's just getting faster. Her last lap through at 80 seconds. So she has opened herself up now a 6-second lead on Elise Fleming.
There's the leader once again. Getting into that water jump. And a good look at the field. New Brunswick's Georgia Bernhardt doing a great job of being in the mix. Great do set for New Brunswick as well. Hilo from Saskatchewan. There's BC and Fleming. Trying to keep that second place right now, but Corville certainly opened up a big lead for Quebec. And there's McLeod down third.
Last lap for Corville, Robbie, was 79 seconds, so she continues to get faster, and her lead is now up to about 14 seconds on Fleming.
Outstanding effort thus far here for this Quebec athlete, still hurdling as well. There's a good look at Fleming in second place, trying to catch the leader, but some work to do. Continuing to run here is Nova Scotia. Francis McLeod. Well ahead of New Brunswick. There's Fleming still in second place. Gonna keep that great pace. Here's Fleming and there's Corville. Already a lap ahead of some of the field, so an outstanding effort from her thus far. A good look at Billo and from Saskatchewan and Beaupre from Manitoba.
Corville now into the home stretch. She is into her final lap. Came through the finish line last time at 8:50 for 2,600 meters. And Fleming just coming through to her last lap now. And the gap is up to 19 seconds.
See the look of focus on her face. From the get-go, she was so dialed in, ready to go, and great poise. As you talked about, able to pick up her speed as this race went on. Sophie Corville getting closer and closer to that finish, and there's Fleming in second place from British Columbia. You see the exceptional speed continuing from Corville. And she heads through, and that'll be a gold medal. Finished up and locked in for Sophie Corville. What a finish for this athlete from Quebec, waiting for the official time. And here comes Elise Fleming from British Columbia. Looking to lock up the silver medal. She will do so. Congratulations to her. And it's going to be Nova Scotia and Francis McLeod for bronze. What an effort from McLeod and Nova Scotia to get into that bronze medal position as this race continues. There you see Meredith Boyer coming through from Quebec. The athletes starting to cross that finish line. Good teamwork. And New Brunswick crossing through as well. Newfoundland and Labrador. Clara Yetman looking to finish. And here comes Saskatchewan's Erin Kilo. Outstanding effort from all these athletes. You're in this demanding race that is the 3,000-meter steeplechase. And crossing the line now is Ontario's Eliza Jane Boston. And Eve Ouellette will finish up as well from Saskatchewan, crossing into the water pit. And another finish as well from Clara Yetman of Newfoundland and Labrador, the home province team. As the crowd gathers at the line. So Eve Ouellette get across for Saskatchewan. What a tremendous effort from all these athletes. Here in the women's 3,000-meter steeplechase, certainly a challenging race to say the least, Adam.
Well, absolutely, and in the end, it is Sophie Corville taking the gold. The time of 10:08:55. That is a new personal best for the Quebec athlete. Takes about 10 seconds off her previous personal best. And with that 10:08:55, she's going to move to third in the country this year. in this event. She'll be the third-ranked athlete moving forward here after a great performance at these Canada Games.
What a race by all these athletes. A great job. But in the end, certainly the story was Sophie Corville from Quebec. Let's take another look at some highlights from this, Adam. And right from the start, Corville got off to a great start.
It was her teammate Boyer who led things early, and then she fell back into the pack, and it became a battle between Corville and Fleming. And then in the latter stages of the race, Corville was able to shake Fleming, and in the end, Corville wins by over 21 seconds as Fleming picks up the silver medal with a clocking of 10:29.70. And then Frances McLeod coming through at 10:35.12 for the bronze medal. And here it is where Corville really started to pull away. And Fleming just unable to cover that move by Corville.
And a great effort from everyone. Certainly an impressive feat is this 3,000-meter steeplechase. Exciting race for fans of track to tune in and take in on this beautiful Wednesday evening. More steeplechase coming up as we're going to have the 3,000-meter men's steeplechase once again. Medals on the line, but congratulations to our three medalists in the women's. We'll step out for a moment and be back moments before this men's 3,000-meter steeplechase begins. Well, welcome back to our continuing coverage from Fortis Canada Games Complex here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. What a race we just witnessed. We're going to see it this time in the men's division, the men's 300-meter steeplechase with medals on the line. Let's meet the athletes wearing hip number 1 from Nova Scotia, Liam Patterson. Hip number 2 from Yukon, Matthias Rosted. Wearing hip number 3 from Saskatchewan, Adonius Downs. Wearing hip number 4 from Nova Scotia, Matthew Lawton. Hip number 5 from New Brunswick, Luke Purdy. Hip number 6 from Manitoba, Carson Croker. Hip number 7 from Quebec, Xavier Perez-Faneuf. Hip number 8 from Ontario, Owen Danby. Wearing hip number 9 from BC, Maximilien Filion. Hip number 10 from the Northwest Territories, Alexander Fast. Hip number 11 from Newfoundland and Labrador, Henry Pearson. Hip number 12 from Yukon, Matthew London. Hip number 13 from Newfoundland and Labrador, Matthew Earl. Hip number 14, Manitoba, and Liam Palmer. Bring hip number 15 from Saskatchewan, Alec Takeler. Bring hip number 16 from Quebec, Xavier Lemaitre. 17 from New Brunswick, Caden Jones, and wearing 18 from British Columbia, Dylan Urich. And we are underway in the men's 3,000-meter steeplechase. And your thoughts on the start early on in this one, Adam?
Well, it's going to be a crowded field. 18 athletes out here. Dylan Ulrich from British Columbia. He's coming off a 4th place finish at the Canadian Track and Field Championships earlier this summer. He is the 5th ranked athlete in the country in this event right now with a clocking of 8:45.33. So he is the quickest on paper in this field.
A great look at it right now is Croker. From Lemaitre. Doing a good job getting out front to pass.
Lemaitre will also be in the mix here. He is the 6th ranked Canadian right now with a clocking of 8:51 flat, so not surprising to see him up in the lead early. And I think that might be Ulrich, who has now tucked himself right next to Lemaitre.
The first water jump we've seen thus far in the race. As we continue back in front, it looks like Lemaitre takes back the lead. As he continues on, it's Perez-Faneuf sitting in 3rd place. 2 BC, 2 Quebec. Make up your top 4 early on in this 3,000-meter steeplechase. Around that turn once again, field starting to settle in. There you see Nova Scotia hanging with him is Liam Patterson. Trying to hang with him in Jones from New Brunswick as well. And Adonius Downs as well from Saskatchewan, doing a good job of trying to stay with the top half of that pack.
The 2 BCers near the front of the pack, and Ulrich and Maximilien Filion. They're not just teammates here, they're also teammates at the university level. They both compete for UBC, and at the NAIA championships earlier this year, it was Ulrich picking up the gold in this event, and Filion was right behind him for the silver.
Lemaitre, lap 2 in the books. As at the beginning, he's still leading out front. Did a great job, as you mentioned earlier. 2 BC, 2 Quebec making up the top 4 right now. It's Lemaitre out front, but with him is Perez-Faneuf as well.
They slowed that last lap a little bit. The previous lap was 72 seconds, that last lap 75.
Certainly good pace here early on in this steeplechase. Lemaitre still in the lead. He's led for quite some time now. As they take the turn, getting ready for that water jump. There it is. Nice work by Lemaitre. Athletes doing a great job of getting through that as quick as they can as they head into that turn. 3.5 laps in the books. We continue. Lemaitre taking a look back now. Looks like he's starting to increase his lead a little bit, picking up pace.
I almost wonder if he looked back at Paris Fadouf and said, all right, do you want me to continue taking this on at the front, or do you want to come up and lead for a little bit here? Give me a little bit of a break. But it appears that Paris Fadouf is happy, tucked in second right now. And here comes Ulrich making a challenge for that second place spot.
There's Owen Danby. He's kind of kept himself flying under the radar a little bit throughout this race. Doing a good job, though, of staying with it. Patterson right behind him from Nova Scotia. And all of them chasing Xavier Lemaitre of Quebec.
The struggle now is going to be for Filion to try and keep up with the lead three. He's dropped back a bit, but it's some good work there in the turn to reestablish contact.
Oh, continue racing Lemaitre. Now looks like he's been passed by his teammate. Good job by Paris Fadouf. Take the lead. As the race continues on over those hurdles. We talked about earlier on in the women's 3,000-meter steeplechase that you saw sometimes they would use the hurdles for more of a push point. Haven't seen that yet in the men.
Now all the competitors here still looking pretty strong. Not seeing any of that fatigue really come into play yet.
The field certainly spread out now as the leaders make a pretty strong lead for those from Quebec and BC. As Adonis Downs from Saskatchewan gets through, and there's a look at Lemaitre. He's taken back the lead. Look at pick up the pace. Look at the speed on Lemaitre as he takes the turn.
It was a 72-second lap there, or excuse me, it was a 69-second lap there for Lemaitre. So he's starting to turn up the pace here, and we'll see if Paris Fadouf and Ulrich can match him.
Trying to play catch up, but Lemaitre, he doesn't look like he's showing any signs of weakness. Continuing that pace, could be a close finish in this 3,000-meter men's steeplechase. The water once again. Here's Filion, BC, fast from the Northwest Territories. Moving on is London from the Yukon. He's got 2 left.
There is the bell for Lemaitre, Paris Fadouf, and Ulrich. 1 lap left to go. And Lemaitre has set himself up nicely here. That was a 68-second lap. That's about a 1.5 lead right now on Paris Fadouf. Ulrich about 4 seconds behind him. So the 4th place finisher at Nationals has some work to do here in the final 200 meters.
And what a performance thus far from Lemaitre. Paris Fadouf right behind him, though. Heading into that final Water jump. It's going to be a showdown of teammates, it looks like. BC not far behind, but have some work to do to catch up. There you see them turning on the speed. Lemaitre trying to hold on. Here comes Paris Phaneuf looking back. Will it be? It's going to be gold for Quebec and Lemaitre, and silver for Paris Phaneuf. As we continue, and in right behind them was BC. And what a finish to that one. In the top 3 for your medals, and we're still finishing up this race. Maximilien Villion from BC, claiming the bronze medal. These athletes starting to finish up. Quebec certainly showing their dominance tonight in this 3,000 meter steeplechase on the men's side and the women's side. There's London from Yukon. Doing a great job. Is certainly a physical, enduring event is this 3,000 meter steeplechase. As he heads in through the water jump once again. There's Alexander Fast from Northwest Territories. As Matthew London gets over that hurdle. Eyeing up the finish, a good effort by him. Get to that finish line, another look at the water jump for Fast, and there's London through at the line. A great job, and well, a few athletes remain, getting a big cheer from the crowd, as they can certainly appreciate the effort that's gone in this grueling race. Finishing up now is Alexander Fast. Finishes up. And right behind him is Matthias Frostad of Yukon. He's going to finish up as he eyes up the finish line. A great performance, and certainly great appreciation by this capacity crowd here at Fortis Canada Games Complex in St. John. So what a wonderful race. Your thoughts, Adam, after witnessing that? It was all Quebec and a great finish.
Well, Quebec goes 1-2. Lemaitre the gold, Paris Phaneuf the silver, and there they are out celebrating as they find themselves on the top of the podium. But Paris Phaneuf, he gave Lemaitre a bit of a jump scare, I think, as Lemaitre was pretty confident he had an insurmountable lead, but Paris Phaneuf really put a charge into the final bit of that race. And it was Lemaitre and Paris Phaneuf near the front through the majority of this race. Dylan Ulrich picking up the bronze here, and he was in the mix for much of this race as well. Maximilien Filion, the other BC athlete, finishing fourth, but Paris Phaneuf, a little late surge, but it wasn't enough to get ahead of his teammate Lemaitre. Lemaitre takes it 8:55.06. Paris Phaneuf 8:55.15 for the silver, and then Ulrich 9 minutes, .87 for the bronze.
So a great finish here in this men's 3,000 meter steeplechase. 2 medals on the books for Quebec. Gold and silver. Bronze will go to British Columbia, but what a certainly outstanding race this was. And still lots more action to go here at the track. Coming up next, we're gonna have the men's decathlon 1,500 meter open. So that will certainly be an exciting one. We've seen these athletes compete in various events in this decathlon. You don't want to miss it. We're going to step back for a moment as we get set up for that and join you moments before the race in the lead-up. We'll see you shortly.
Atlantic Lottery is proud to sponsor important community initiatives like this year's Canada Games.
Calling St. John's unique is like calling a humpback a goldfish. It's wildly different here.
Hello.
Hi, remember me? We bought your old house.
Yes.
We brought some mail.
Oh.
Hey.
The diaper subscription. I forgot to cancel it.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet the memories are coming back now. The BMO app helps you keep an eye on where your money's going.
Like how?
Well, for one, it would have told you the subscription price had gone up multiple times.
It's a lot of diapers.
Well, extra's good. So where's the baby?
Oh, he's right here. This is the baby.
And that ain't no baby.
BMO. I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. Now or never, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time. I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. Now or never, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time. I'ma leave it all on the line. Better believe I'll get mine. Now or never, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time.